Failing a simple screening like that, even though you're a CEO? Whatever. Sorry, but I can't be with someone whose future is so uncertain.
You understand? There are struggles unique to being a CEO behind the scenes, and CEOs are the one taking all the risk.
Exactly. Maybe we're cut from the same cloth.
Is this person capable of consistently honoring their contract and making payments without delay? They are evaluated based on their past track record and objective data. That's what social credit is all about. It's been 3 years since I started my own business and became a CEO. I understood that my social credit was still weak.
What? Unbelievable. What do you mean we failed the screening?
Hey, I told you beforehand that there was a chance we could get rejected. I'm currently being thoroughly berated, and it's by my girlfriend, whom I'm dating with marriage in mind. It all started when we were looking for an apartment to live together. My girlfriend, Shino Meme, fell in love at first sight with a certain luxury apartment.
Isn't this place great? It's close to the station, the security is solid, and the view from the balcony is amazing.
No, this is definitely over our budget. The tenant screening is probably going to be strict too.
Can you stop? Don't talk about embarrassing things while the real estate agent is listening. You're a CEO, aren't you? You should act more confident. I've decided. Let's go with this one. I feel some kind of connection to this room.
That's how she pushed past my objections and chose a luxury apartment, which naturally led to us failing the screening.
What's that supposed to mean? Are you saying it's my fault for choosing that room? It's just pathetic. A grown man making nothing but excuses.
It's not an excuse. This is something everyone who just started a business goes through. I need to spend years building up my credit. We met on a dating app, and after her intense approach, we've been dating for a year. I've explained this to her countless times.
You're still studying? It's already 2 a.m., you know.
Yeah, I need to build up my own credit from now on, so I want to do my best. You go ahead and get some sleep, Shino. Shino would always look at me curiously as I studied to get qualifications related to my work, like a real estate notary license for the future. It's tough even though you're a CEO, huh? I think that was her favorite catchphrase. With that in mind, I offered an alternative. It's not like we can't live anywhere. Look, we had another candidate, right? It's a bit far from the station and there's a hill, but it's spacious and clean.
Failing a simple screening like that, even though you're a CEO? Whatever. Sorry, but I can't be with someone whose future is so uncertain. Let's break up.
Forget about the differences in values. She doesn't even listen. At this point, there was no future with her for me either. I see. Understood. If that's how it is, let's end this. Even though she was the one who brought up the breakup, Shino looked dissatisfied that I agreed so quickly, and left the house saying goodbye. To quickly forget about my incredibly selfish ex, I threw myself entirely into my work after that. Sorry for the late introduction, but I'm Takuto Otaki. I'm 32 years old and the CEO of an architectural design company. Though I say CEO, I have no employees. I built up my track record as a freelance designer, and it's been 3 years since I incorporated as a solo CEO. The construction on this apartment complex, where I struggled because I couldn't change the piping layout, is finally coming to an end. The one who let me handle the renovation design for the largest building I've worked on so far was the local Mutsuzawa Construction. Since I still can't get jobs under my own name, I frequently get work passed down to me from Mutsuzawa Construction. A few days after finishing such a huge renovation project, I was invited to a wrap party hosted by Mutsuzawa Construction. Sitting right in front of me was the CEO of Mutsuzawa Construction, Aika Mutsuzawa, and Also joining us was a male employee proudly boasting in a good mood. I'm the one who found the amazing Takuto.
Thank you as always, Takuto. Thank you for another wonderful design this time.
Not at all, President. I'm the one who should be thanking you for always sending work my way. President Mutsuzawa is the second generation to take over Mutsuzawa Construction from her father, a rare female CEO in the industry. Polite and dignified, she always carries herself with an air of confidence.
It's been a while since the employee in charge of design at our company quit, and even though we're recruiting, it's hard to find someone. Please, I hope we can continue this long-lasting relationship.
Honestly, if I got requests directly to my own company, the profit margin would be overwhelmingly larger. Even so, I'm nothing but grateful for my current environment, where I get to gain so much experience as a subcontractor for Mutsuzawa Construction. This was my first time drinking with President Mutsuzawa. I heard she's 30, 2 years younger than me, but she's in a position where she manages many employees and craftsmen. Even though we're both CEOs, the sense of responsibility and pressure she faces must be completely different from mine. However, as the drinks and food kept coming, and the tension eased, I learned that her struggles lay elsewhere.
I entered this industry because I admired my father. I gained experience at another construction company first before taking over the family business. Still, just because I'm a woman, I'm not trusted. Contractors, banks, and clients, everyone looks at me through biased lenses. I'm doing my best to somehow wipe away those prejudices, but I still have a long way to go. I keep causing trouble for my employees, too.
The worries and struggles unique to the position of a CEO can only be understood by someone in the same position. And yet, outsiders who know nothing act like they know it all, saying this and that. Amidst having various experiences like that, I suddenly remembered my ex-girlfriend. You're a CEO, right? Or, even though you're a CEO, I can't count how many times I thought, shut up, you don't know anything. I lost the energy to argue back, and only frustration piled up in my heart. And then suddenly, this anger just... Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to just vent like this. Seeing me come to my senses and apologize, President Mutsuzawa covered her mouth and laughed out loud.
You're an interesting person, Takuto, but I totally understand how you feel.
You understand? There are struggles unique to being a CEO behind the scenes, and CEOs are the one taking all the risk.
Exactly. Maybe we're cut from the same cloth.
Huh?
If you like, why don't we take our time and talk again? Since you mentioned you broke up with your girlfriend. I mean, privately.
At her modest invitation, my heart unexpectedly skipped a beat. Her expression, much more relaxed than when we interacted for work, looked incredibly alluring to me. A secret exchange with her during a business meeting. It kind of feels like I'm doing something bad. I mustn't forget that she's an important client, but I can't help seeing her a little bit as a woman. Takuto, did something good happen to you? Nothing at all. You're acting pretty sus. Come on, tell me.
You've had too much to drink. Don't bother, Takuto.
Seeing President Mutsuzawa cheerfully chiding him while giggling, I ended up blushing even harder. On our way home that day, we exchanged personal contact info and became close enough to discuss things outside of work. We started going out for meals, just the two of us, and I began calling her Aika. I was worried about you, but to think you've already found such a wonderful partner, I'm surprised. Thanks for inviting me out. He's my classmate from middle and high school, Naoya Ichinomiya. He's a civil servant working at the prefectural office, and my best friend, whom I can talk to about anything. Regardless of the size of the company, I think CEOs have a lot of worries and stress that only other CEOs can understand. Being able to empathize with someone about that is a real blessing. Well, I doubt you'd get it, Naoya. Huh? What was that? You want to fight? I'm just glad you're doing well, you bastard. I got dumped months ago. I've definitely bounced back by now. We can joke around like this because of the bond we share. It's an exchange built on deep mutual trust. Well, that aside, even a civil servant who doesn't understand a CEO's feelings is pretty busy, you know. With that, Naoya started talking about a new project he had just begun working on. Huh, I see. Just from hearing a little about it, it sounds like a tough job with a lot of opposition. Yeah, but I find it really rewarding. I'm definitely not going to let anyone call this just typical bureaucratic red tape. You're right. I'll do my best so I can take on bigger jobs too. I have absolutely no intention of acting arrogant just because I'm a CEO, or he's a civil servant. It's mutual that we can't fully understand each other's different positions. That's exactly why Aika, who understands my feelings from the same position, was becoming someone special to me. We always just get dinner at night, so maybe I should invite her out on a weekend this time. On my way home from drinking with Naoya, feeling the pleasant, cool night breeze on my skin, I reached for my smartphone.
Beautiful. It has a different charm from Japanese gardens and traditional houses, but this is strangely calming in its own way.
And so, on our day off, I was touring historic Western-style buildings with Aika, who had happily accepted my date invitation. I'm glad. I always get inspiration from my architectural designs like this. Since I picked the destination, I was worried you might not be interested at all.
What? I'm still a part of the architecture world, you know? Of course I'm interested.
Relieved to see Aika smile so gently, I continued guiding her to another Western-style house. Looking at Western-style houses built in the Meiji and Taisho eras, I like to imagine how people lived back then. It's fun to discover designs that still hold up today, or hidden conveniences that make you truly impressed.
I see. That's so like you, Takuto. Is that?
Aika pointed at a certain Western-style house and stopped. Oh, that's a reconstruction of a Meiji-era missionary's house. What about it?
No, it's just that it looks exactly like the elementary school I went to.
Oh, really? A symmetrical shape with a decorative spire called a pinnacle on top. If it looks like this, it must be an elementary school with a very rare design.
I didn't care about it back then, but it was actually pretty cool. It's already been closed down, though.
With the declining birth rate, we really hear stories like that a lot more often now.
Yeah. I'd like to get a closer look at the building. You come too, Takuto.
Watch out! I somehow managed to catch Aika as she tripped over a small step. With our faces suddenly so close, we looked at each other. Are you okay? Does anything hurt?
I'm sorry. I'm fine.
My heart felt both ticklish and warm. With the development straight out of a romance drama, I felt like I wasn't even myself anymore. There's no need to rush. Let's go take a slow look, okay?
Yeah, you're right. Let me calm down a bit.
I always had the impression that she was a dignified and put-together person, but I got to see a new side of her. Feeling quite lucky, I guided Aika toward another Western-style building, and we started walking. Time passed, and about 2 months later, perhaps thanks to my networking, direct requests for my work started increasing, and I was finally able to hire an administrative assistant. Thanks to that, I had more free time, and could focus on tasks I previously couldn't get around to. Wow, Takuto is looking like a full-fledged CEO now. Maybe I should get your autograph before you appear on TV. Don't tease me. This is the most crucial time. So, what brings you here today? One day, as new jobs were gradually coming in, Naoya visited my office, asking me to just hear him out. You know that new project I'm in charge of that I mentioned before? It's going to be a competition, and I thought maybe you'd want to participate, Takuto. I widened my eyes as I looked at the documents Naoya showed me. I'll do it. I'm joining. No, I will absolutely make this project a success. Whoa, what's up? What happened? It's rare to see you so excited, Takuto. My intense enthusiasm left Naoya beyond a wry smile and straight into being utterly bewildered. But that was only for a moment. Seeing my highly motivated state, my best friend burst out laughing. However, while I was successfully growing my company's sales, Mutsuzawa Construction was facing a crisis. Oh good, I can't reach them. Could this be a midnight run? What should we do?
This isn't the time to be looking for a contractor who ran away. If we don't find another contractor somehow, we won't make the deadline.
A subcontractor they had entrusted with construction work had fled in the night with the deposit money.
I'm going to the bank to ask for a loan right now. You just focus on finding a new contractor.
No one can truly know what the future holds. In this day and age, you can't say you're absolutely secure, even if you work for a major corporation or become a civil servant. We probably just have to desperately pull the future toward us from our respective positions.
Takuto! Takuto, you're here, aren't you?
A shrill voice echoed across a certain construction site. She barged right into an area that was strictly off limits to unauthorized personnel. Excuse me, this area is off limits.
I just need to talk to him for a bit. Once I talk to Takuto, I'll leave immediately.
Hey, what is up with that woman?
Found you, Takuto.
Shino, why are you here?
Hey, Takuto. I was wrong. I lost my temper over something like an apartment screening back then. I'll apologize until you forgive me. Can we start over?
Interrupting my discussion with the contractors, she started saying something completely absurd. Are you here because you saw that TV special?
TV special? What are you talking about? I just couldn't forget you.
Your panic makes it incredibly obvious. You probably figured I'd become somewhat famous and changed your mind, right? That's right. I made my first TV appearance the other day. It was a documentary program that closely follows people working on the front lines of various professions.
Huh? Takuto? Isn't that Takuto?
The construction scene featured in the program was the very site I was in charge of, heading toward completion. It's the long-awaited revitalization project I won through the competition Naoya suggested.
No way. To think Takuto would become this famous. What is this? What is this? He actually looks like a CEO.
Around the time that it aired, she had become a bit of a shut-in for certain reasons, and her eyes sparkled in front of the TV. Why did she have such a reaction? It was influenced by the days of endless matchmaking parties she had after breaking up with me.
What's up with this lame lineup today? Nasu Trading is only third in the industry anyway. No way! A company like that makes me anxious about the future. Who knows when it'll go bankrupt? I need to hurry home and register for that matchmaking app exclusively for men working at top-tier companies. It costs money, but it can't be helped.
Seeing absolute financial security from men, she was constantly judging her prospects and couldn't find her next partner. And, to top it off...
Breaking news. President Carter of Rice Country, a central figure in the world, has announced strengthened sanctions and regulations against Japan in specific sectors. As a result, many Japanese subsidiaries of Rice Country companies are expected to shut down.
Huh? You're kidding, right? My company will be fine, right?
A few years ago, saying she couldn't shake her anxiety working at her previous Japanese company, she fully leveraged her father's connections. and had him squeeze her into a clerical job at a Japanese subsidiary of a rice country firm. But her assumption that major companies and foreign firms are definitely safe probably became the catalyst for her to realize that you never know what will happen in this world. Well, I had no idea she had gone through all that after we broke up. Whether I knew it or not, it has zero impact on my choices, so it doesn't matter. This is a construction site, and it's off limits, and you shoved past the warnings to get here. It's a massive problem.
But you blocked my number, and I didn't even know where you moved to after that, so I
had already moved to another apartment after breaking up with her. It's only natural that she couldn't find me. But, are you a child? You probably think everything you do is right. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to act so ridiculously out of line. You knew I was working, yet you interrupted me for some nonsense talk. And on top of that, you're trespassing. When I flatly laid out the facts, she flinched for a moment, but still didn't back down.
Calling it nonsense is so mean. I just...
Are you trying to damage my reputation even further? When she arrived, I was overseeing the construction and checking the detailed designs. This wasted time doesn't just affect me, it affects the entire site. I despise people like Shino, who have no consideration or care for others and only ever think about themselves. Forget about getting back together. Just talking to you like this is stressful. Will you go home?
No way. Then, if I wait outside for you to finish work, will you start over with me?
She's basically no different from a child throwing a tantrum. I'm so exasperated I'm speechless. Just as I was at a loss for how to chase her away.
Huh? Why is there someone on site without a helmet?
I'm sorry. I think I mentioned her a long time ago, but...
Could this be that whiny ex-girlfriend whose catchphrase was, "Even though you're a CEO"?
Aika, being as perceptive as she is, seemed to immediately understand who Shino was and why she was here. Aika simply gave Shino a passing glance and started talking about work as if nothing happened.
Takuto, I'm a bit concerned about the finish on part of the pillars in the main hall. I think it would be better to build out the pillar with concrete panels and align it with a finished surface. Could you take a look at it later?
Understood. As expected from the meticulous work of Mutsuzawa Construction. Thank you, as always. By the way, building out is an architectural term meaning to add thickness beyond the original structural surface.
This is your all-out project, Takuto. And it's a building with deep personal meaning for me too. It's only natural.
That's right. The project I won in the competition was a revitalization project for a closed elementary school. My proposal, which combined repurposing a precious building and promoting local development by turning the elementary school into a roadside station, was selected. And I chose Mutsuzawa Construction as the contractor, because that elementary school was Aika's alma mater. On the same day we went on our Western-style house tour date, when we found a building similar to our closed elementary school and went closer to look, Aika shared her inner feelings with me.
It's not that I lost my alma mater due to a lack of children. It's painful that my school is rotting away and has become known as a haunted spot. Even though all structures eventually crumble, as someone working in architecture, being made to realize it so vividly is...
Physical things eventually break. Even though I knew that in my head, I hadn't truly felt it in my bones very often. That's probably because, having only been in this line of work for about 10 years, I've never experienced a building I worked on rotting away. That's exactly why it felt like a miracle that the revitalization project Naoya suggested was for repurposing Aika's alma mater. I entered the competition determined to handle it no matter what, successfully won it, and am now proceeding with the construction to turn it into a roadside station. There's no one else to be the contractor for this project other than its graduate, President Mutsuzawa. I look forward to working with you until the very end.
Of course! I'll take full responsibility until completion, so please rest assured.
You've got some nerve ignoring me. What's your deal? A woman wearing work clothes and a hard hat? Can you not get close to Takuto in such a filthy outfit?
Furious at being ignored, Shino insulted Aika, trying to pick a fight, but Aika remained completely calm.
Well then, why don't we have him decide? Who is more attractive between me with my filthy appearance and you with your filthy heart? What? What did you just say?
Aika looked up at me, playfully stuck out her tongue, and smiled. I was suddenly put on the spot with a ridiculous request, but there wasn't a single doubt in my feelings. It's obviously you, Aika. You're a wonderful person who can be considerate of others' positions and perspectives.
Thank you.
I already feel like I want her to be more than just my partner in work. I want her to be my partner in life. I'll keep the rest of those thoughts quietly in my heart for now, to properly tell her later instead of here.
What is that? You just happened to both be CEOs, so you're just acting like you understand each other, right? Because you're a CEO, even though you're a CEO, I hear those are your favorite phrases. Aren't you the one making assumptions without knowing the reality of being a CEO? Just acting like you understand? If you're trying to stand beside him as a CEO, why are you actively dragging him down as one? Take a good look around you. Huh?
Prompted by those words, Shino finally looked around. Before her was a construction site where all work had completely stopped.
Because you barged in here without a helmet, all work on this site is currently halted. Because no matter how selfish a person you are, we can't allow any accidents to happen.
Finally realizing she was being subjected to the cold stares of the workers, even she fell silent.
Nice timing. It looks like your ride is finally here.
That's the woman. I looked over and saw Naoya Ichinomiya, the prefectural office supervisor and client for this project, running toward us with uniformed police officers. It seems that guy from Mutsuzawa Construction contacted Naoya for us.
Police? No way. I didn't do anything to deserve that.
This is a life-risking workplace. You should be grateful it's only the police. Unable to understand even that, she was escorted out of the construction site while screaming and throwing a fit. President Mutsuzawa, I'm so sorry. I never expected her to barge into a place like this.
Of course not. It's hard to imagine anyone acting like that.
I needed to hurry back to work and make up for the delay as much as possible. Just as I was thinking that...
Let me hear the rest of what you were saying earlier. Take your time next time.
Yes. After whispering that, she playfully stuck her tongue out again. Then she bowed her head to Naoya and immediately went back to work. Don't just stand there spacing out. I'm not spacing out. When I added thanks, Naoya waved his hand and left, saying, "Good luck, man." As for Shino after that, she was charged with trespassing and obstruction of business.
How could this happen? I just wanted to talk to Takuto.
That's what she said, but her reckless actions caused a temporary complete halt to the construction, making it a police matter. There's also the undeniable possibility that the involved companies might file claims for damages due to the delay. Having gotten her job through connections, she was severely scolded by her father for causing a police incident. And no matter how good of a matchmaking app she used, there was no way she'd find any decent matches now. Well then, a revitalization project that maximized value on a tight budget, turning the schoolyard into a parking lot and the school building into shops and a restaurant. The idea of turning a closed school into a roadside station became a model case that was later copied by municipalities all over the country. Thanks to that, I'm grateful to say my company has been flooded with requests for revitalization projects.
Takuto, truly, thank you.
What's wrong? You're being so formal all of a sudden.
Back then, with the trouble of the subcontractor skipping town, our management was at its breaking point. You are our savior.
That's right. Around the time I entered the competition for this revitalization project, Mutsuzawa Construction was facing a crisis of survival. Just then, I won the project in the competition and nominated her company as the partner to team up with. I always planned to offer you any job I could, whenever the time came that I could repay your company. But the fact that it was a project at your beloved alma mater made me really happy. Or rather, my motivation was on a completely different level. To me, when I had no work, my savior was Mutsuzawa Construction. I'm the one who should be saying thank you so much.
Takuto.
She smiled as if relieved. Watched over by a reborn alma mater, she looks incredibly happy right now. Aika Mutsuzawa, will you hear the rest of what I was going to say that day?
Yes, I've been waiting for it.
I am who I am because of her. My past self lived without any way of knowing a future like this would come. No one knows what lies ahead. It's important to prepare for the worst, but being pessimistic won't start anything. Will you picture a future with me?
Of course. I'm really looking forward to it.
Precisely because it's an era with so many uncertain elements, I believe it's important to maintain a positive attitude and a positive mindset.
I'm so glad Aika and Takuto got together in the end. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. See you in the next video!